Right, we're here. Seems like a long time coming, well it has been. Nearly 2 years I think we booked the trip. Teillatts, everyone's really excited. First afternoon, draw's been done. Not great for me, 8 out of 10, but there's only 10 of us on the trip, 17 swims. So I don't think anybody was ever going to be too sort of gutted with the draw. We've had the banter of that. It's good, everyone's spread out nicely. No one's sort of too hemmed on each other. We've got a nice bit of the lake, and there's an opportunity of a move if it doesn't happen as well. I've ended up in a swim called Manny's, southwesterly corner. Looks good, and the weather is sort of meant to turn that way. So if it does, I think I'll do well. If it doesn't, I think I'll probably just nick odd fish, which would I'll be happy with that. Main aim this week was just to see one of the real big ones that's in here. That's all everyone's excited about. That's all we've talked about. Coach all the way here. Everyone's talking 60s, 70s, 80s. Most of the guys here ain't seen anything that big. A couple of the fellas have had 60s and sin 60s, but I mean 70 and 80 pound carp. It'd be an absolute dream to see one of them on the bank. So yeah, I mean it's just a case now. I'm happy with the spots. I found a little sort of plateau out there, comes up a touch. But in all honesty, I did want to be in the deeper water, but I've gone for that because it's just something in a swim, something to aim for, it's something I can feed, regularly fish on top. So I'll start with that. Got one rod down the side on a snag. I've left the whole of the bay completely empty. I'm hoping they'll be able to drift in and I'll be able to hold them in there and they can just drift out and I can pick them off sort of bite at a time. So yeah, fingers crossed, first night. Just buzzing to be here really, really excited. So let's see what happens.
If any of you know anything about this lake, you might be aware of the serious stock that this place has got. There's a tremendous head of big fish, so naturally the expectancy from all of us fishing this trip is that there could be the fish of a lifetime or the capture of a lifetime for someone in this particular week. So bring it on. Well, the swim I'm in is called the Rock in the Woods. I don't really know a great deal about it. I have spoken to a few people leading up to the trip. Wasn't actually a swim that people had mentioned that you'd maybe want to break your arm to get in, but I came out reasonably late in the draw, and I wanted a chance to potentially fish deeper water sort of in the middle of the lake, so I'm actually quite happy. And yeah, I've just pinged them out, and which I'm just going to sit back and just see what happens. I'm going to definitely need to get my head down and get some sleep tonight, and then really just review things in the morning and actually consider whether I think it warrants putting any bait out. But until now, it's sleep time. Good night.
Right, here we are, second morning. Eventful start, really good start. Managed to have one first night, epic common as well, PB too, 47.10, so made up really. Expected it to just sort of go on from there really. We were told it would probably be a slow start, there's a changeover, everyone's old bait's over there, so it's just a case of the fish coming in, normally cleaning up the old bait, and then it's a couple of days before it kicks in. But obviously nailing a fish straight away, I think everybody thought, here we go. Lad round the other side had one too. And then the gaffer, Jerry, managed to nick one, so we were sort of free fishing quite quick. So I think everybody was thinking, here we go, but it's not ended up that way. Last 24 hours, probably nearly 30 hours, have done one lonely bite. Looks beautiful now, but temperatures dropped right off last night. Big mist come over, didn't feel right at all. I don't think anyone went into the night feeling confident. But this afternoon's wielded this lovely sunshine, so spirits are rocked up again. We've had a few beers this afternoon and everyone's sort of jolly, so going into tonight everyone's confidence is back up. Conditions are due to change too, swinging round to southerly winds again, southerly and southwesterlies. Temperatures are staying a little bit higher, So for the rest of the week now, I think we're going to be in for a few more fish. I think everyone's at that stage now, they just want to nick one, nick two, just to get the momentum going. So yeah, fingers crossed. Going in tonight, pretty confident.
Well, good evening. Unbelievably, already, it's the third night of our week-long trip, and we're kind of approaching the witching hour of when I had a bite last night. So I'm just sat here, literally thinking I could be getting a bite any minute. You kind of get that feeling of like, this is going to happen, it's going to go. And hearing these fish come crashing out in the moonlight, yeah, it just does you. But as I mentioned, I had my bite earlier last night, ran about 9:30. It's just out of the blue, really. Fish had been showing over me. I probably put about 2 kilos of bait out yesterday evening, and to be fair, I've pretty much replicated the same. And I've gone with, again, the mix of the boilies, 18 millers, cell and hybrid, and then half of them I've chopped up, and everything's been glugged in amino liquid, and it's, it proper kicks off some oils and attraction. It seems like the shows have kind of subsided now, and it seemed to me the bites that I've had previously, when they stop showing, if they're in the air and they're feeding, you're going to get a bite. So I'm buzzing, I'm punishing the kettle. I'm just going to sit here trying to literally sit on my hands and just willing for that bite to happen. And who knows, it could be a proper whacker. Well, morning all. We've got one after a really quiet night. Literally just out of the blue, just before first light, my short spot rod has just absolutely ramped off, and it's resulted in this 44-pound Teillatts mirror, my biggest of the trip so far. Ooh. Yeah, that feels like a 40. That's heavy. It's built like a tank. And she certainly ripped about. I must admit, when I picked into it, it didn't really do a lot, and then suddenly it surged and the rod just hooped over, and then battle commenced, and she really did put up a good scrap. But yeah, they're getting bigger. We good? Come on, they're getting bigger. Okay, the next update, it's Tuesday afternoon, around about 2:30. So really it's a case of just bringing myself up to speed with what's been going on since this morning. The fish I had this morning, that 44-pounder, I was absolutely made up. It's the biggest of the trip. And it just seems like things are starting to roll a bit now. There's a bit of consistency. It's a fish per night that I've managed to get. So I'm really hoping I can just keep things going, doing what I'm doing, little tweaks here and there just to try and do things a little bit better and just try and piece something together. Now, I've made no bones about the reason why I'm here. I want a big fish. And if I can get a PB, that would be absolutely awesome. I'm going to try and put myself in the position to do it. It might be unrealistic, it might not happen. Either way, it's been a great week so far, and to be honest, if I get a few more bites before the end, it's immaterial. If a big fish comes along, then great. But in terms of what else has been happening around the pond, a little bit more activity. Phil, who's in the swim to my right in Biffos, he had his first fish of the trip this morning, a nice 30-pounder. I think it gave him a proper good scrap, heard his alarm go, sort of when we were dealing with my fish, and
he got his first fish on the bank, so that was kind of a relief for him. Other than that, it's been very quiet. The lads up on the field bank, they've been doing their perch and pike thing, just flicking lures around during the day. There's just not been a great deal going on. No real fish activity out in the pond. And we're kind of moving into that next sort of afternoon and evening phase, still with 4 nights to go and everything to play for. In terms of what else has been going on, Paul, who's fishing over on Bailiff's Point, he's had, I think it's his 4th fish, a 33 if I'm not mistaken, and it's quite significant because it's our first proper daytime bite. So things are definitely starting to just move up a gear, and I genuinely mean this, I really do hope that the other lads who haven't caught yet start getting stuck into some fish.
It's been a bit slow, not what we really thought it was going to do. Last week was a better week than what started already. There's been a few fish out, probably about 7 or 8. Gel's probably top rod at the moment with 3 fish. First day, got all sorted. Everyone was quite happy with their picks of swims. Come late evening, I got my first take. Reeled down to the slack, straight in the snag, had to get the bailiff over the boat, go out in the boat, and unfortunately I lost it. And since then, not really much action been happening down this end. It's all been up the top end. Like come first dark, they just start showing out there. It's absolutely bonkers what we're hearing. Like the fish are absolutely huge, that are just throwing themselves out the water. There's a few showing down here, sort of Saturday, Sunday, and now it's gone quiet. They will turn up, they're just sitting on the back of the wind. Just fingers crossed, really. Nothing happens tonight or in the morning, and it's quiet down this end. I'm probably going to have a move tomorrow. Just got to do something. Can't sit behind dormant rods. I'm too used to moving about back at home. It's just what I do, really.
Typical French pay lake fishing, to be honest. You turn up on the Saturday, you're still fishing over everyone's bait from the week before. You know, you don't know where those spots were. The fish are still eating it, they're probably still visiting those spots. So really, until Monday morning, you're fishing over other people's bait. And it's only really after Monday that they start visiting your spots with any regularity. Myself and Dale, who was opposite, we were finding it quite tough because a lot of the fish were showing up the middle of the lake and up the far end, away from the pressure. They were just being difficult, really. But kept the bait going in. You know, for me, on these pay lakes, it's important you get your spots sorted at the start of the week and just keep baiting them, because the fish will, once they've eaten the last group's gear, they'll start visiting your spots. Tuesday was pretty quiet, even though it looked really, really good. Again, evening, coming up to bite time, seeing no fish at all. And myself, Gary, Jerry were all just sat. I had a couple of beers, bit of a social, just seeing the evening nicely, and all of a sudden the left-hand rod just absolutely melted off. No warning, nothing. I hadn't seen anything, and it set off, latched into this fish. It was obviously a good one. And just plodding about out in the middle, just came in nice and steady. It was a bit like a wet bag of cement, to be quite honest. And it came in, I've got a bit of marginal weed, not too far out, about 2 rod lengths, something like that. But it's quite deep coming up to there, so the fish stayed deep, and it came up to the weed in the edge. Jerry had got his head torch on, and instantly he was like, I think I'll be getting in for this one. So dived in, shoes still on the whole lot, ploughed in with a net, led it over the weed, and it came back and it went in the net, and instantly we knew it was a proper lump. We pulled it up to the edge, and it was straight away, it was a PB.
Special that, mate, isn't it?
Definitely over 50, so bit of shaking, quite a lot of excitement, and got everything sorted, lifted it out of the water. It was a two-mad job to get it out of the water, partly because it was slippy, but partly because it was a proper big fish. Got it in the sling. Myself and Jerry got the scales, got it up on the scales. I couldn't see the dial, as is tradition. And yeah, it settled on 60 pound 8 ounces, so absolutely elated, completely over the moon. And as far as I'm concerned, that's week made. I don't care if I don't get another fish. However, obviously I'm gonna keep trying, because you've got to. And again, we're still not seeing anything down here, so it just goes to show, just because they're showing out in the middle, they're still visiting the spots, and you're still getting fish sneaking in and out. So plans for the week, I mean, it's Wednesday morning now. I know for a fact that the spots are established, so just keep the bait going in little and often with the throwing stick and with the spod. And yeah, fingers crossed it'll pick up a bit, and we'll get a few more fish. There's been a few out last night, up to the early hours of this morning, so they're definitely on the feed. It's just a case of seeing if we can trip a few up.
Right, when you last saw me, I was talking about thinking of a move today, because the action yesterday wasn't great. Not seen a lot down here, but the weather's made a change. Pressure's dropped dramatically, we've got a lot of cloud cover, a bit of rain come in, and John opposite me got his first take, which was a 60. And not long after that, we were sitting down with Sam, which was one down from me, having a cup of tea, and kept getting liners. I come up for quickly had a look, see what was happening, and got a couple of single bleeps, and then it absolutely went into meltdown. On my run back, trying to get my head torch onto my head, run straight into the trees. Managed to get to the rod in time, and from the minute off it was just felt heavy, and didn't do much. Apparently the big fish in here don't do a lot, they sort of come in on a dog on a lead, like, and Sam soon slipped it in the net. Well, 54 pounds, that's what we come here for. Proper unit, well chuffed for this one. An absolute unit at 54 pounds, proper made my week. Hopefully there's a few more to come. With the weather conditions changing, and this morning I've seen a couple show between me and John and Sam. I think I'm going to stick it out down here. It's looking good. It's a lot of activity now, like the wind's pushing nicely into me. Seeing a few fizzers, and like my spot, there's the odd slick coming up off my bait, so hopefully anytime soon I should get another take. It's looking good.
Last time we spoke was Monday afternoon, I think. I was on a bit of a high, just had the personal best common. But from then it's really sort of started slowing down. I talked about the weather due to change, and it sort of took ages to happen. But it has, the weather has changed, and it started a sort of chain of bites around the lake. Last night, John kicked it all off in the corner with his big 60. Everyone was made up with that. It sort of got everybody back on a high. And everyone expected it to happen last night. The wind had picked up. It was just looking really good, especially in my corner. I went to bed last night really confident. But come about midnight, it started really pouring with rain. And I sort of laid on my bed chair thinking, load of cold water going in. Sort of, I've missed the boat a bit this afternoon. But I hadn't. Sort of 6 o'clock this morning, just before first light, middle rod was away. And another personal best, this time a mirror, belter as well, 48 pound 8 ounces, absolutely made up. But it's still really slow. This bank has done 2 bites, just my 2 bites, which is silly really. I mean, we've got 2 really good anglers up from me that have been here before, caught fish here before. They're really confident, but it's just not happened. They haven't turned up here. I'm still expecting them to. I mean, obviously I've had the 2 fish, so I'm feeling pretty good anyway, but for them guys, I'd love a few fish to move in here so that everybody can get off the mark. but I'm pretty confident it's going to do more fish. I think now it's sort of got to that stage where we know we're not going to have high numbers of fish, so everybody's expecting a real big one to come out, because one hasn't yet. I know we say that, I mean 2 48-pounders, I'm the biggest fish I've ever seen on the bank. So they are big fish, but this place is known for 60s, 70s and 80s, so we're all hanging out really to see one of those. So fingers crossed it happens. I'm still pretty confident it's going to. It normally throws up a big one, and I hope it does. Yeah, you sorted? Lump in the background. I literally cannot believe I'm sitting here about to say what I'm about to say. I spoke to you only a few hours ago saying how much I was desperate for somebody to catch a real big one, and we'd sort of done everything but. I'd sort of caught my 2 PBs and was over the moon, and it was it's just become now just about somebody catching a big one. And just before dark, left-hand rod's away, and I can't believe it. I've just had another personal best, one that's probably never, ever going to be beaten. Just laugh saying it. 70-pound, 8-ounce mirror. Just unbelievable. Had all the lads here as well. Everybody come round. Just a really great moment for me and for everyone. I mean, everyone seems to be just really happy that I've caught it. It's what we all wanted. We've been talking about it for nearly 2 years. We've got like a WhatsApp group. It's just all been about somebody having a big one. It didn't matter who was going to have it, just somebody have a big one. And we've done it, and we've still got 2-3 days left, so somebody could beat that, which is the frightening thing. But for now, I'm going to enjoy a couple of beers and just soak it up, but I don't think it'll sink in for a long time. There you go. See you later. Go on, Ad.
Right, it's now Thursday evening, and we're picking up after Adam's colossal 70-pounder last night. Just before midnight last night, I had a 48 mirror, which gets me off the mark. Waited up until Wednesday, so that was last night, obviously, until I got my first bite. It took a while coming. It's been a bit of a grueler from me. I come out last in the draw, but as such, you know, this is life. After that, I think it was early hours of this morning.
Yeah.
Farmer Mark had a 27 from New Biffos. What were after that, Dale? Was it the
Phil over in Biffos, 76, which is just unreal.
It's just mega
Big
unreal.
fish Thursday,
I
as
think
they
it was
say.
a fish called the Bear.
Yeah, the bear.
76 pound 10, was it?
And it's fishing's
Absolutely
picked up
massive.
fishing's picked up a little bit now, and it seems to be a few more bites coming out here and there. Sort of hearing them all over really. They're a bit dispersed all over the lake, so hopefully sort of these last 2 nights are going to come good.
Yeah, let's hope Big Fish Thursday lived up to its name.
Or Big Fish Friday.
Well, yeah, Big Fish Friday, yeah, yeah, definitely. Right, just as we come off camera, the old Delkin melted off. 1 toner, lifted up into the rod, and after a slow, steady fight, was a bit of a ragged fight. You could tell it was a smaller fish than the average stamp here at Teillatts. It was 27.6, so made up with that. It's my second bite. You know, I've waited all week up to Wednesday. Now it's Thursday, I've had 2 fish, so seems to be switching on. Hopefully I'll have a few more now. It's looking good, Dale, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Looking
Yeah,
good.
we've heard a few out in front of us, so it's looking like they're creeping down in front of us, and hopefully I should get on a bait.
Yeah, it's a lot more active tonight. We've seen probably twice as many shows
Yeah.
tonight, you know, already. Since the past couple of nights, it's been pretty quiet. Tonight we've seen lots and lots of shows, so fingers crossed we're getting on it. And although it's Big Fish Thursday, it could be even bigger fish Friday.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. Fingers crossed somebody gets an absolutely colossal beast.
Right, field bank update. Been an emotional roller coaster, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
loads and loads of ups and downs. Obviously, last time we spoke, we had the massive high at the big one. Brilliant night. We had stayed up, had a load of beers. Everyone come round. It's just great, wasn't it? Excellent. I think everyone was pretty amazed to see a carp so big. I still haven't come down from it now. It's amazing. I just keep looking back at the photos and the video. It's brilliant. But we had quite a quiet day after that. Not a lot happened. I mean, everyone felt really good. Conditions looked bang on. I thought a few more fish would come out. But as the evening sort of drew on, I think it was the first time we started seeing fish this side of the bar, wasn't it?
First time since we've been here, yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, here we go. Especially, obviously, Harris hadn't caught anything, Ricky hadn't caught anything, so it was just like, here we go, it's going to happen. Late doors, going to have a flurry of activity. So we was all pumped up. Didn't expect anything down my end, but rod ramped off, didn't it? I don't know what time it was, I think it was about 10 o'clock.
Yep, something like that.
Rod ramped off, run down there, we were sort of spinning in the swim next door. Nice fish, 38-pound mirror, real clean fish, so I was well happy to get another one. But again, I just really wanted Harris and Ricky to have caught, so we come back, sat down, ended up staying up. We said we'd sort of sit up, didn't we?
He was going to do like 2, 3 o'clock, weren't we? Something
Yeah,
like that.
because they just kept boshing, didn't they? It was like
Yeah,
one
mate,
after the other, so I was thinking it's got to happen. And yeah, we sat on a bench, we stuck a DVD on, some terrible film of Ricky's, standard. But it was good. Started watching that, just drinking tea after tea. And then like just one bleep, wasn't it?
Yeah, single bleep, and then the left rod just sprung into life, didn't it?
Oh, it
About
was-
1 o'clock-ish, something like that?
Yeah, it was about 1 o'clock. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, everyone was up. It was like it was the first fish that's ever been caught in the world. Obviously, Harris was desperate to get off the mark. I think like adrenaline kicked in for you, didn't it, straight
Big-
away?
Yeah, big heavy fish straight off as well. You could
Yeah.
tell big, couldn't you? We all sprung down to the swim, didn't we? Chesties on and everything, all ready to get in with the bolt
Yeah.
with the netting.
No, it was brilliant.
Rick was literally just wading around under my tips when the next rod just bent down, didn't it? Bent down,
Yeah.
tapped him on the shoulder and off it went, didn't
Couldn't
it?
believe it.
Double take.
I thought the other rod had taken it out, didn't we? But you could see the line was going the other way, and I was like, you're away on that rod. So I picked that up, but that one just wasn't coming in quick, was it? The one you had on, just
No.
ploughing around in front. Real slow fish. We knew it was a good one. The other one I just sort of let go. Thought obviously wanted Harris to better take over. Eventually slipped the net over it, and it was an absolute beast, wasn't it?
Yeah, just over 50 pounds.
Just over 50 pounds, yeah, real thick set carp. Handed the rod straight over, and then soon after that, he slipped the other one over, which was high 20, wasn't it? 29.
29.12, yeah.
So I mean, we were just absolutely elated.
£80 for fish,
Yeah, that'll do.
2 nets.
Yeah, it was wicked. So obviously got all the shots done of that, which is brilliant.
Lifted a dark mood as well. This was a dark bank to be on, wasn't it? For the
Oh,
build up for that.
Yeah,
It's just not played into our hands, is it at all?
No, it's been
so far.
tough, isn't it? Because I've been picking them off down the end, and you've been like staying upbeat with me and everything,
2 of
keeping
the
it.
going swims as well.
Well, that's the problem, innit? I think that was.
Pressure.
Yeah, I think so. I think you start chasing it then, don't you? And you're sort of desperate. The week's running out.
Yeah. You kept our hopes up there, didn't you?
Yeah, I told you it was going to happen.
Yeah, you did. Started
Yeah.
showing this side, and we knew we could catch him if that happened, and it did.
And it very true, didn't it? But I mean, obviously it was Ricky left. Fair to Ricky, he's worked really hard. I mean, last night, after all that had gone on and everything, he moved down into the swim called Defence. Just had a night under the stars, a horrible, misty, horrible night as well. Yeah, it was horrible. But that's how much he's desperate to catch. And
Brave man.
yeah, he put the effort in, massively put the effort in. Nothing through the night, which I was gutted to hear about. I was just hoping he was going to run down and get me up. But it's been great. I mean, today he's had 2 bites. This is what I mean with the emotional roller coaster, because we thought, here we go, running down there, weren't we? Had the rod at full compression.
Halfway up the bank.
Yeah, I'll fight the bang. We thought this is it, the moment. Ricky's off the mark. But took him into a snag quite early. Didn't look good. Barbless hooks on here as well. So
Run round to get a boat.
yeah, you paddled out there, didn't
Literally
you?
just got in it. One little stroke with the oar, and it was all over, wasn't it? I
Yeah.
turn around and go back.
Come off straight away. So he was gutted, to say the least. We sort of G'd him up, come on, get him back out there, there's fish there, there's fish there. You see a really good common go as well as he was snagged up. And it wasn't long, hour, if that, hour, and he was away again. Again, we all running down there again. It's just so desperate for him to catch.
Exactly the same scenario though, isn't it?
Yep, kited, did it on the, so he couldn't do nothing with it. Slow plod again, straight in there.
Got the boat over this time.
Yeah, this time he got out there, didn't he?
Transferred him over into the boat, wound himself out to the fish, and then that was it. It wasn't even like a line part though, was it? The
No,
rig
just
come free
literally
and it
got
was all
everything back, and to say we were gutted. It was
And
an
he said he felt
understatement. Yeah, which had an insult to injury, didn't it? But it's really sort of darkened it again now. But I mean, on a more positive note, I know Dale had one this morning. I think it was about £38 or something, another nice carp. And he's had another one as well not long ago, half hour ago. Yeah, which was great. Something's definitely gone on down in John's swim as well. I'm just going to give him a ring actually and find out. So there's sort of sporadic activity again. Yeah, so fingers crossed, mate. I think
turned a bit of a slow week into a bit of a flyer right at last knockings.
I hope so. I hope so.
Go on then.
Go on, Les.
What have you had?
Well, it's been a bit...
Another one.
Yeah, all right. The fact that they've been bigger than yours is no consequence.
Well, we've had 3 apiece, haven't we?
Yep, 3 each. Had a bit of a result really in a new PB common at 58.8, which was pretty special, it has to be said. And and then just returned a 53.8 mirror as well, which was an absolute unit.
Today's been a good day, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, it has, yeah, it's been wicked. It started off obviously down here really slow beginning of the week, touched on it the other day, but you had an absolute flyer to kick off with, didn't you? Straight in.
Yeah, it was good.
Straight.
Yeah, it was really good. And then it kind of went downhill very quickly from there.
Went a bit quiet, but
you've picked things up for us, so that's good.
Tried my best, but just really stuck with the spots. That's been the thing. Get your spots sorted early and keep baiting them, and just hope that they're recognising where they are, keep dropping and having a go. By the time you get to Wednesday, last week's spots are a distant memory. You know, the spots that we've been trying to establish all week, they're the ones that they're visiting. And I think we've worked it quite nicely where, you know, to start with, it wasn't, I wouldn't say scattergun, but we were using quite wide baiting patterns. And as the weeks progressed, we've steadily, you know, certainly from my point of view, less of the stick, more of the spawn, dragged them in closer and really started concentrating the bait. And I think it's, you know, it's worked really well.
It's worked very well for you and some of the other lads, not so well for me. But hey, you know, you can't have it all.
Doesn't it?
But yeah, approaching the end of a week that's been really good.
It's been mental.
I've had to hang out with you all week, so there's always some downsides.
Yeah, you can't have it always though, can you?
No, it's been mega.
So, yeah.
Pleasure.
Absolutely.
Let's do this tonight.
Let's do this
tonight.
16 hours to go.
Bream carp, what do you reckon?
I'll take a carp, thanks.
Oh, come on.
You had the bream.
One more. I just want one more.
What,
one
bream?
More.
Bream?
No, not a bream, a carp. One carp. One carp.
Oh, just look at that. Bit of last night magic. My first 50 of the trip, 52.5 pounds of epic mirror. Fought like an absolute demon. And the night's still young. It's only about 8 o'clock. We've still got the whole night. Let's hope for a few more. Brilliant. Well, look at that. Would you believe it? The last night magic's continued. Second 50 of the night, 50.5 ounces this time. This place really is unbelievable. It's probably going to be the last fish of the session now. We're early hours. I'm going to be tired on that coach on the way home, but who cares when you're catching units like this? And remember, you're not going to catch them sitting at home, so get yourself out there.
Exactly the same route as the last one. So
Yeah, there he goes in the weed. Know the drill, do you?